Good day, everybody. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm dressed like this. Well, the answer is because today's video is going to be something that is long overdue. I've put this off for weeks. I've put it off for months. And now that we're in December, I can't put it off anymore. Heading into the new year especially, I think we need to clear the air and formally apologize to the players I have wronged this NFL season. Now, if you're wondering what happened to my Week 13 reactions, don't worry. They'll be here tomorrow. I just want to wait for it to be completed. So before we get into our apologies, why don't we go over my plugs? First off, if you head over to gfuel.com and use code WyattzWorld, you can save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. Secondly, if you're 18 years or older, you can head over to PrizePicks, the daily fantasy app, where code WyattzWorld will match up to $100 of your first deposit. And lastly, if you guys are trying to get your parents some cool, unique, affordable gifts for this holiday season, hit the link in my bio. It'll bring you to parentpresents.com and show you the ultimate gift guide of 2022. All right, we're done talking and let's start apologizing. These glasses don't even do anything. Anyway, first apology we have of the day is to Geno Smith. Geno, I apologize for refusing to believe that you were actually a good quarterback up until about 2 weeks ago. You have played with heart, you have played with passion, and you have proven me wrong week after week after week, and you are without a doubt one of the reasons that your team is still in it this year. Another thing I admire, Geno, is you are proving to a number of athletes that it is truly never too late to turn it around. I mean, what, you're like 40 this year, right? Next apology is to the New England Patriots. I am sorry for once again beating your ass and making your opponents boo you in your own stadium. I mean, that one goes hand in hand. Next apology goes out to Christian Watson. I'm sorry for calling you brick hands repeatedly after week 1 when you dropped the ball in the opening drive. You are developing at a much faster rate than I expected now, and you are looking like you are going to be an absolute superstar. You are in fact not brick hands, you are not MVS V2, you are not Butterfingers, you are in fact Christian Watson. Next apology goes out to Daniel Jones. This is gonna be a lot. First off, Danny, I'm sorry for saying you look like an awkward 8th grader who shit his pants on his first date. I'm also sorry for saying you have the most punchable face I've ever seen. I'm sorry for all the times I said you were a bust and a horrible quarterback who played at Duke. We're almost done. I apologize for making fun of you every time you trip and fall on a breakaway. I am also sorry for saying that, this is a real one, Stevie Wonder would be a better quarterback. Danny, you've played well this year. Whether you're winning, whether you're losing, you are playing well. I mean, you haven't been turning over the ball. You've been making magic happen with absolutely nothing. I think your coach plays a big factor in it, but I also think your previous coach played a big factor in why you looked horrible. I think you belong here, Danny, and you deserve an extra shot. I apologize for all the shit I ever gave you. Next apology goes out to Roger Goodell, of all people. Roger, I'm sorry for ever giving you shit about commissioning this league poorly. Even if I do not see eye to eye with you, even if we, the people, do not see eye to eye with you, you are at least not Robert Manfred, an indecisive pushover clown who is currently running the state of baseball into the ground. I didn't try to rhyme that, but Roger, you're not so bad. All right, next apology goes out to Najee Harris, and the apology is that I'm not ready to apologize yet. People keep saying I need to apologize to him. Why, because he stiff-armed someone? He's gotten 4 whopping touchdowns this year. 3 of them have come within the last 3 weeks. He hasn't broken 100 yards in a game yet this year, and he's still under 4 yards a carry. So sorry to anybody who thinks I owe him an apology. This one goes out to James Robinson. I'm sorry you got traded to a team that doesn't use you. It sucks, you deserve better, and I really hope the best for you in the offseason. Next up, we got Miles Sanders for calling you a piece of glass and saying you were absolutely dog shit. Yeah, I definitely said that. He's been playing good this year, man. I was really harsh on him. I feel bad, and fantasy was a big reason for it. Speaking of fantasy, my next apology goes out to Nick Chubb. Nick, I apologize for drafting you in fantasy, and then my team ended up being absolutely horrible. Which is why I traded you away, but still, you deserved better. Now, am I aware that Nick Chubb probably could not give a shit less of what someone thinks about him in fantasy football? Yeah, but I don't care because I love Nick Chubb. I literally consider him like my half-brother. I don't know if you understand that or not. This next apology is for Cardinal fans. I'm sorry that I was right about your team on every aspect so far. I'm sorry that I was right that they were not going to make the playoffs, that they weren't that good, that your head coach was overrated. I'm sorry you guys still think your quarterback is the second coming of Jesus Christ himself when he is clearly not. The only thing comparable with Kyler and Jesus Christ is the height. This one goes out to the Panthers because they just released Baker Mayfield. Not saying that's a bad idea, but I'm once again sorry that you guys are fooled into thinking Sam Darnold is your guy. It's going to take a week and he is going back to his old ways. Here's one for Antonio Brown. I am sorry you lost your mind. You had potential to be literally the greatest wide receiver in NFL history, but instead, not saying it's your fault you got cracked by Vontaze Burfict, but instead, you have chosen to fizzle out of football and focus your life on rap, which isn't good, and being an absolute clown. Next up, we got Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk, I am sorry for saying you are going to be an overpaid piece of shit who would just drag the Jaguars further down the drain. I'm also sorry for never thinking you are going to be capable of being anything more than a number 2 receiver who only goes off when the number 1 is out. Yeah, Christian, I'm sorry. You're doing really, really good this year. I did not think you were going to do good at all. I thought you were honestly what I just said. Gonna be an overpaid piece of trash. All right, next apology will stick on Jacksonville because it goes out to Mr. Zay Jones. Zay, I'm sorry for calling you the biggest bust I had ever seen back in Buffalo. I'm also sorry for laughing at you and saying you got too big of a contract when you went to Jacksonville because I thought that was going to be the end of your career. Much like Christian Kirk, your career has only taken off since arriving there, and you have proven that you are, in fact, a capable wide receiver in the NFL. Next apology goes out to Mike McCarthy. Mike, I am sorry for calling you a blimp on multiple occasions. By the way, multiple is bold, all capital, and circled 3 times. I must have called you that a lot, and regardless of if I still think that or not, Mike, it's just hurtful and I don't need to say it out loud. Next apology goes out to Mr. Dan Campbell. Not for hating on you, I've always loved you, Dan, but for not believing in the system. What the system is, I'm still completely uncertain, but it's working. Dan Campbell is one of those guys who would draw up a plan and say it in front of 100 people, and every person would look at him and go, you are fucking crazy. But his plan would end up saving everybody's life in the end. I have not figured you out. I'm not sure I ever will, Mr. Campbell. And like I said, I've always admired you and loved your energy, but I think you actually are a really, really good coach. Next up, we got Justin Field. I know I said I was a fan of Justin, but I gotta apologize for being impatient. Justin, your career goes to show that with proper coaching and the ability to have a fresh start in your own organization can go a long way. I know your team isn't playing like it, and I know you didn't start off like it, but in recent weeks to months, you have been playing like an MVP caliber player. I'm sorry, I don't like your team, but I'm happy that you're doing well. Next up, we got Saquon Barkley. I mean, I've already said this, but I kind of need to again. Saquon, I'm sorry for saying you were done and never would return to your elite ways. And saying that when moving up the field, you were an unimpressive slug. Next up, we got the Broncos. Sorry for giving you guys any hope. You're fucking horrible. Oh my God. I'm sorry to any fan who's ever watched me and thought, hey, that's firing me up about this team. Because I was horribly wrong on that. You guys are an abomination. Your quarterback sucks. My dog puked this morning and I think it looked more attractive than your team does right now. Couple apologies left here. This one goes out to Josh Jacobs. Josh, I'm sorry for calling you average and saying the only reason you are ever getting the stats you were was because John Gruden was giving you 4,000 carries. Sorry, Josh. You're gonna get paid this offseason and you deserve it. This one goes out to Josh Allen. This is several years old, but sorry for wanting to take Josh Rosen over you. I mean, that was just silly. Second to last goes out to Tyrod Taylor. I apologize that you've had the most unfortunate career in NFL history. Again, this one is outdated, but it needs to be said. And the last apology goes out to the Jalen Hurts haters. You guys are in living hell right now. I understand it. Alright guys, and that is going to be it for me apologizing to NFL players, teams, and coaches. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you had some fun with it, and I hope I could clear the air with a lot of you. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, you already know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I do my absolute best to post on this channel every single day. Take care, and as always, I will see you in the next video.